visit somebody right on my call. This is the moment you're meant to know.
Hello there, sunflowers, and how are you guys today? Well, I'm here to do a reading and update on Zoe Kravitz and Harry Styles. Yes, I'm actually glad to see that they're still kicking it out. Wow, is that the way the phrase goes? I'm so glad that they are kicking it. There we go. So, I'm here to show some pictures because there are plenty of pictures, just four. But there's plenty of pictures of them hanging out together and being cozy with each other and coupley, snuggle, canoodled up, if you could say. Okay. All the theatrics and dramatics out the way. We see that Zoe Kravitz and Harry Styles are both feeling each other, vibing each other, and that's exactly the sentiment that I had gotten from the last reading that I had done on him, where I talked about Zoe and mostly Zoe, but Harry was willing to match her tempo, and it's the I'm not trying to get into anything serious. I'm just gonna vibe and feel us out. And hey, if we go somewhere, if we move into a relationship, I'm down for that. But I'm not trying to put any labels. I'm not trying to say we're a thing. I'm just seeing where it goes. And Harry's like, all right, I'm down for that. I feel you. Cool, let's do that. And it seems like they're vibing their way into a quiet secret relationship. So that's why I'm going to do another reading and recap to see what's going on with them, because I'm just like, okay, we're finally getting pictures. We're finally seeing them together. It's always her on him, but you know what? That's okay. So because of that, it's glad to see that Chloe is definitely feeling and connecting with Harry like that. Because from the perspective that I've got in my last reading, it was Chloe that says that she didn't want to get too attached and she wasn't trying to label anything, and she wasn't, because she could have just gotten out of a relationship or something had just recently happened in her life. I quite can't remember at this moment. And because of what was ever going on in her life at the moment, she really wasn't trying to get too serious, too deep, too connected with anybody. It was just kind of chilling for fun, vibing, seeing where things lead us. And because of that, it seems like it has brought the two of them closer together, where we are able to see multiple instances, multiple different outfits. Sometimes they are couple matching, which is really cute, low key. So subliminally they're showing us that they're a relationship without saying they're a relationship. It's like the phrase, tell me you're in a relationship without saying you're in a relationship. And that's exactly what I'm seeing right here, because the cute couple matching color outfits, color coordinating, sometimes I see you guys be really slick, like you guys are twinning on one wavelength anyway. Because of that, I'm just going to be doing a reading on. Oh, did the other image not pop up? There we go. That was the other image that was supposed to pop up. So because of that, also look at Harry Styles' tote bag. That's all I gotta say. He kind of rocking it. So because of that, I'm just going to pull some cards to see what's going on in their relationship and see if if Zoe and Harry Styles are in a more committed relationship between themselves, even though they're not publicly sharing that they are in a relationship, but we get to see them in a relationship and going on dates. Looks like shopping together. It's really nice. So just scooch over. All right, so this card is going to represent Zoe. I don't know why Chloe wants to come through. So Zoe Kravitz, and Zoe Kravitz. What card is going to represent you and Harry Styles. How do you feel towards Harry? Okay. The Fool wanted to fall out. Quite interesting. I would shuffle for Zoe. I would shuffle for Harry Styles. However, I feel like this top card is just going to be the next perfect card. The Father or the King of Cups. I like that. They are definitely having some synergy between them, a connection, and they are really feeling it out. I felt like, I can't remember what I said in the last video, but we'll see if the same sentiment is going to come up, if it's what I'm thinking is the reason why they are feeling more bonded to each other. So let's see what's at their foundation. The Three of Swords. I like that. That's not all bad. That's not all bad. In the past, we had the Mother of Swords. Ooh. In the present moment, in the present moment, we have the Chariot, which is interesting. I wonder if that's in connection to the Three of Swords. And the Chariot also has to deal with the past. So I'm wondering, what does the Chariot, the Three of Swords, have to do to bring us and lead us back to this Queen of Wands? But we'll find out. We'll find out. And let's see what the future is. The Hermit. Are we not surprised? Are we not shocked? Let's see what the outside influences are. The Magician. I like that. I like that. The Eight of Pentacles. Looking good in that past. Let's see the future. The Son of Pentacles. Fitting. And then the Nine of Cups. Okay, I do like this reading. It is, I won't say heavy, but it definitely is. What is the best way I could use to describe the word? It is definitely a lot going on between them, between Zoe and Harry. So right here, Zoe Kravitz feels like the Fool. It seems like when she's around Harry, the way he makes her feel, the way that her vibe, her energy is around him, she feels like a fool. She feels youthful. She feels as though she's experiencing something she's maybe never experienced before, or he's allowing her to try a different path, do something different that she's never done before. So because of that, there's a sense of newness when it comes to Harry, and she's enjoying wherever it's taking her. And on the flip side for Harry Styles, we see the Father or the King of Cups, somebody who is emotional, maybe too emotional, sentimental, but somebody who could probably hold the own, because the cups is all about feminine energy and receptivity. So because of that, he could have I'm sorry, Harry, I did not mean to go down that path. We're just going to dig myself out of there before I get too deep down that hole. Sorry. So because of that, I didn't even think about that. The more I just described that, the more I just heard him say, hey, don't say that. I was like, I'm sorry. So because of that, here we see at the very bottom is the Three of Swords. And the Three of Swords symbolizes, now this could be a heartache, and you're like, why is there a heartache at the foundation of a relationship? Well, because thinking about their energy coming together, the Fool and the King of Cups. Those are two unique energies, and combining them together at the bottom, that's holding them together in a sense, was drawn them together, is the Three of Swords. Now, is this because somebody has had a broken heart and they have met somebody along the way and they are feeling rejuvenated, feeling alive again, feeling the pep back in their step, like they're ready to live life again, and that this person has made them forget about their heartache? Or could it have been somebody who's been in a troubled time, a troubled period in their life where things weren't just going their way, going how they needed it to, and then some mysterious way this person blows into their life? Maybe they've known each other for a long time, maybe they didn't, maybe they just crossed paths and are just like, hey, I kind of like your energy, and when you be honest and upfront and open with people, you can definitely get to the root of a lot of things. And that's what I'm seeing here with Harry and Zoe. They were able to talk and able to get to whatever this painful energy is that one of them is trying to heal from, or both of them is trying to heal from. So because they have united together, there is something between them that is healing in a sense. And here in their past, we see, looking in the past to figure out how we get to this point, we have the Mother of Swords or the Queen of Swords, somebody who can be cold, somebody who is trying to think, rationalize, and intellect. I'm going to think more with my head and not my heart. So because of that, we already see two conflicting elements and energies. And honestly, the Queen of Swords and the Three of Swords are both swords. They're both air and they're both mental. But the Three of Swords feels more emotional, where your head and your heart get a little tangled up and you can't tell the difference between the two. So therefore you get yourself in an entanglement or all entangled within yourself and can't see maybe like what's best for you. So that's where we have evolved from with this Queen of Swords energy. Somebody has finally have taken the time to do some processing, whether that be emotional, intellectual, spiritual. Just do some serious processing, so that way when it comes to a relationship, they are able to function properly within a relationship and not allow whatever that is to still be weighing them down, still attaching them down, and still bleeding into their other relationships. It's like you think you get out of one relationship and into another and your problem's going to be resolved, but it's like from one relationship to another relationship to another relationship, it's the same thing over again and over again and over again. So then you're going to have to start thinking out and wondering what it is that needs to be changed, because there's some sort of pattern. And that's exactly what I see here, is that pattern has been broken. That instead of doing the same old, instead of reacting a certain way, let me just step back, get a bird's eye view, literally that owl, think wise, get outside of myself and think about it on a different perspective from somebody else's viewpoint. And because of that, if you're able to do that and be less about yourself and more about the collective, weirdly enough, you're going to be able to have a more meaningful and fruitful relationship. All that weirdly guru talking just to say about Harry Styles and Zoe Kravis's relationship. That's the kind of energy and vibe that I'm getting behind them. Again, again. They're last time I was feeling was something like fated, like they were destined to meet each other, and this was something that they needed, like for their souls on some weird energetic level. And here again, I'm picking up the fact that this relationship is a union of healing for one or both of them. I'm going to say both of them because I feel like they both have had troubled some relationships, troubled love life. So to come together to meet somebody that you can finally vibe with, somebody that finally gets you, somebody that's willing to match your tempo, it's rejuvenating. It's refreshing. It's like, where have you been all my life? I thought I was like the alien. Nobody was getting me. But finally, I see that there are other people out there like me. That's the kind of vibe that I'm seeing with them. So because of that, that's going to draw them together more than pull them apart. And as it drew them together more, it started off as friends. It started off being like, hey, I like being around you. I want to be around you more, to, hey, you know what? I think we are in a relationship, because that's how I feel and vibe with you. I just enjoy you, and something about you is special. And that's what I get with them. And that's exactly what I see here with the outside influences, being that magician, being whether that magician is like divine energy, divine timing, things working in magical, mystical ways, bippity boppity boop. But nobody was trying to make magic here. Magic just magically happened, literally kind of like a miracle in a sense. But it was something that was lucky in a sense. And we see here that at the bottom, which is a really great card to solidify that magician, because that magician was so up in the air, so just mystically pulling something, not pulling it even out of a hat, we're pulling it out of a cloud. How do you pull something out of a cloud? I don't know exactly. That's the kind of vibe that that magician was giving, was like, well, how do we plant it and ground it? And the ground that I see is the Eight of Pentacles, is that this magician is sprouting from both of them doing some inner work, both really working on themselves instead of trying to work into a relationship, just working on themselves. And like they say, when you're basically working on yourself and living your life, love just magically happens to find you, like the magician sees. And that's exactly what I see here on how they came to meet together just a while ago. And to this point that we are now with this magician, with this full King of Cups, Ace of Three of Swords energy, that energy of, and honestly, I had to spend some time on that past energy, because this is what that Chariot is tying back to this present moment that's going on with them, with that full feeling like we're on a new path. Something about this is different, special. I'm willing to go for it, willing to take that ride. Literally take that ride as the Chariot, because the Chariot is all about trying to move forward, but sometimes you can get stuck while trying to move forward because there's something holding you back, going back to that Three of Swords. But if you have somebody within your life, that full three and King of Cups energy, if you have that person in your life that you're able to talk to, communicate with, just be open. Sometimes when you're really able to be open, honest, and be able to communicate your feelings with somebody, you're just able to get solutions. You're just able to get the answers. And that's what I see that they were able to get with each other. So it's both, we're benefiting from each other. It's like they say, we're building to get each other as we grow in this relationship. It's not like we both came made and then we're coming together in a relationship. No, we both came broken in a sense. And with our both brokenness, we came together. We're helping each other and we're growing and sprouting up from there. And that could be hard, that could be daunting, and that could be feeling like, well, a bit heavy sometimes, because we're still in that Cups energy. We have both Cups and Earth, two of the most heaviest elements outside of the water, outside of air and fire. So just looking at it, I'm just like, we have more heavier cards. So therefore, this topic, this energy can weigh them both down. And that's exactly why they're trying to keep it light, not trying to commit to any labels too soon, too quickly before anybody's comfortable. So because of that, that's why it's more a rolling stone. See where it's going. How's it going to unfold? I'm not trying to rush it. I'm not trying to push when it doesn't need to be pushed, kind of thing. So if you go with the flow, like water, it kind of like the Chariot, if you just allow the ride to take you, it's going to take you where you need to go. You just got to trust the process. No matter how much you've maybe tried to in the past, or just things, or maybe things just used to come in a certain way, and now things are changing in your life, and now you have to work and operate on a different frequency or from a different mindset. So therefore, things aren't coming to you as they used to. So you got to work a new magic, work a new vibe to get the things that you want. And that's exactly what I'm seeing. It's that, weirdly enough, it's that awkward energy. That's what this Son of Pentacles or the Page of Pentacles represent. It represents awkward. I think of it like the prepubescent stage, where things are awkward, where you're a little bit sensitive, where you're trying to fit in, but you don't know exactly where you fit in because you're not fully sure of yourself, kind of thing. And because of that, that can lead to late development. That could lead to having struggles with bonding with other people. That could just simply lead to feeling a sense of isolation and like nobody gets you and you're kind of like an alien. So those are like all the feelings that they're feeling. Maybe you just feel like your standards are too high and nobody's going to match them. But then you just justify and rationalize it like, well, that's my standards and I am worthy of this. So therefore I should still be looking for this. But then it comes to the point of, when does my standards or what I'm looking for have to change in order for me to see a different outcome, or for me to feel more comfortable and less like a fish out of water floundering on dry earth, kind of like the Page of Pentacles. So because of that, that's exactly where I see Zoe and Harry, that they are in that awkward phase of they don't really know what's going on. They're allowing the energy to flow for them. Sometimes they might want to go against that flow, that chariot. They might want to go against the flow. Maybe it's out of maybe it's out of the past. Maybe it's out of the awkwardness or the feeling of this is something I've never felt before, done before, experienced before. So how do I know if I'm doing it right? How do I know if I'm doing it wrong? And, especially if all that. I keep coming back to so many different heavy things, so many things. When you start thinking about it, you start getting a headache and you're just like, that's way too much. That's too heavy. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to talk about that. So it's just like, it's just better not to talk about it. And we'll cross that bridge when we cross that bridge, whenever we get to that bridge. I don't even want to see that bridge in foresight, but I just know we're going to come across that bridge sometime in the future kind of thing, so far back. I don't even want to deal with it until I have to deal with it. It's kind of like avoidant energy. And we see here is the Hermit, which is all about needing to take a break, literally a break, a time to reassess, readjust, just allow things to unfold. Slow and steady wins the race. Literally, slow and steady wins the race. So because of that, just allow, just go with the vibe. Feel for it. Vibe with it. The Hermit's all about maturity too, and maturity says that if you are mature, you're able to stand your own while also being in a relationship. You don't have to be codependent. You can be independent and in a relationship at the same time. So because of that, that's the kind of vibe, the energy that I'm getting with the Hermit. It's that maturity, that sense of we could be in the relationship even though it's awkward, even though we don't know where we're going with this, even though we don't know what's happening, and we don't even know if this is going to last, and if we're just wasting our time. And it's just like, are we going to look back at this and be like, God, why did I spend time in this when I knew it was going to go anywhere anyway? But at that time, I didn't even know if it was going to go anywhere anyway. So that's the kind of thing, it's just like, so, instead of having all those regrets, have all those thoughts whirling in your head, just take a Hermit, take a woosah, take a break, and kind of just allow life to guide you. Do some soul search, do some inner work, continue talking to your partner. Zoe and Harry, keep talking to each other. You guys got a great sense of communication with each other, and that's exactly why you guys are still in a relationship and moving forward. You guys are going to eventually come across those awkward conversations that you guys have been avoiding. And that's why you've been in a pretty peaceful, slow, steady relationship. But sometimes at some point you're going to have to acknowledge something just for the relationship to be real or to really grow. Like, yeah, it's great to vibe, cutesy, great, it's amazing, I love you, you love me, that's amazing. But sometimes you just got to think about substance and where are we going to go from here? That's at some point, it's like the Nine of Cups at the very bottom here, where you have everything, but it's like there's almost like there's something missing. It's not fully completed. So because of that, it's like, and that's what a trial relationship is too. Maybe they will find out that even though they thought that they were really good and that they could have been in a longer sustainable relationship, that maybe the possibilities or the odds didn't work out against them. But if they continue to keep putting in the work and continue doing what they've been doing that has brought them to this point, then I don't see anything. Like they say, if it's not fixed, don't break. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Don't fix the don't need to be. Yeah, don't fix what's not broken. There we go. That's the phrase. So that's exactly what I see here. So let's just pull some 3 cards for a final outcome for Zoe and Harry Styles. I'm exhausted just after reading them. So we're just going to pick just gonna pick 3 cards that are going to symbolize an outcome. Well, the snake just wanted to slither its own way out, didn't it? We have the snake, and what's the next card after the snake? Is a thief. Oh, I'm almost afraid. Okay, I like that. I had to think about that because I was just like a snake, a thief, and then a cockroach. Nobody likes a cockroach. I'm just like, these are all negative. But what I have to say with that on the flip side is that a cockroach is resilient and it's adaptable. And even though it seems like all odds are against it, even though it seems so heavy and you could crush it, its hard shell, its hard exterior says, try again, actually. You did not weigh me down. This did not get the best of me. I shall still persevere. Now, if that's them persevering after the relationship has ended, or them just persevering through the relationship, through the tough time that they're going through, but seeing a thief and a snake, both a snake and a thief can be the same thing. They're interchangeable because thievery is snakery and snakes like to steal your energy. So because of that, they're one and the same. One and the same. And then we have a cockroach. So it seems like with all this mysterious energy going on between them, maybe the snake is that they don't really know what's going on and they're just blindly following whatever it takes them, where it takes them. That could be kind of snakery because, I'm not saying that life takes you down. Not saying that life is being about being against you, but as in the sense of snaking. You know what? I like this analogy better. Think of snakes as slippery. They slither. It's really honestly hard to get a hold of one. They're conniving. They are thoughtful. They can plan. Just think about all the good things, all the good aspects of a snake. Like, let's forget about the negative. Let's think about the positive, about what a snake can do. And when you think about that and apply that to Harry Styles and Zoe Kravitz, you see that the snake is them actually, even though it's a slippery slope that they're on, they don't know where it's going, where it's leading them. And they're just hoping it's leading to a relationship. They're hoping. They're not trying to hope, but it's like hoping against hope. You're trying to get serious, but not serious at the same time. You're trying to be committed, but also not being committed at the same time. So because of that, it's kind of like that. And that's where the snake energy comes from, where the boundaries are kind of loose. You don't really know what's really what. So therefore things can happen. But if you can have some really good conversations with each other, like Zoe and Harry have been having, allegedly, because they're still together after like a month or two. So because of that, as long as there's no thieves, there could be energies that's coming up against them. Thieves, people trying to take their time, careers, lifestyles, taking their time away from each other. And when you have time apart from each other, things just happen to sneakily go wrong and things slip into the cracks. So because of that, they just have to really they just need a really stronger sense of a foundation. And maybe if it's all about just being with each other to heal each other for the next person, then that's what it is for this relationship. But hey, I don't know. We'll see where it's going from here. They're not quite sure where it's going from here. They're taking it one day at a time, really. They're really not trying to get weighed down by all the logistics. No matter how much the logistics are looming over their head. Maybe it's because those are the things that they used to do in the past and used to think about in the past, and that used to weigh down the relationship. So let's try something different. So instead of instead of talking about marriage and a baby carriage, maybe let's not talk about that. Let's talk about your favorite color. Where do you want to go to vacation? What's your favorite spot in the world? What do you like to do as a hobby? Those kinds of things. Let's do something different other than talk about, yeah, let's get married. Yeah, we're going to own this house. Are you going to take me for my money? Are you trying to date me for my money? You know how it goes up in Hollywood. So instead of trying to deal with all that, let's just simply deal with the fact of right now in this moment of what's going on between us. We're just going to try to be as truthfully honest with each other as we possibly can. And with that, we'll see where it goes and leads us. And that could be new for both of them, and that could put them both on edge, because maybe they could be side-eyeing each other like, are you really fooling me? Are you really gagging me here? Are you really trying to one-up me and I just don't know it? Kind of, I'm not trusting you, but I also like you, but I don't know. So that's the kind of vibe, and that could too put some strain on them. And there's just so many things like that. Like I say, every time I get deep into it, I get a little bit of a headache, and I start thinking like, I don't even want to think about that. That's way too much. Let's just forget it. We spent enough time on just thinking about it. Let's not even talk about it even anymore. So with that being said, that's what I get, and that's the same sentiment that I've been picking up in these two consistent readings. So with that being said, please go check out my last reading on Zoe Kravitz and Harry Styles, and then come back to this one and comment if you felt that my two readings were one and the same. It's the themes that stick with me. It's the strong sentiment of let's just try to keep this light. Sunflowers. Let's keep it light like sunflowers. Let's just spread our joy, our love, and our energy. And with that being said, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already and become a sunflower. And with that being said, please give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already. Share this with anybody that's into Zoe Kravitz and Harry Styles. And please leave your comments down below. Do you think Crones and Harry are really a relationship, or do you still think that they are PR? What would they even benefit from PR? But hey, that's snake and thievery. You don't know. Maybe it really could just be PR. Maybe somebody trying to get a little something out of somebody. That's why they're just like, I don't know, but I like you at the same time, but I ain't trying to deal with them. I'm not trying to go down that path. So with that being said, let's just take it for what it is at this very moment. And that's the vibe that they're going for. And that being said, this time will only tell with Zoe and Harry, and I hope that they really evolve into a relationship, and that this bumpy, rough, awkward phase that they're going through isn't the demise of the relationship, and is actually the beautiful beginnings and foundations of a stronger relationship. And with that being said, now I will see you sunflowers in the next one. Sunflowers!